Hello, this is Professor Ma, and this is the sections inequality and sign chart. Specifically, we're going to use sign chart to solve inequalities. So, for example, for easy one, we want to solve 2x minus 3 bigger than 0. And remember, bigger than 0 means it's positive, okay? But we draw the sign chart of 2x minus 3 and we find out where is 0. Of course, that's at 3/2. So we mark down 3/2. We do the sign chart of 2x minus 3. We will find plus is on this side, minus is on that side. And since the question is asking when is 2x plus 3 positive, so we answer this question geometrically. Oh, it's positive over here. And in this case, it's strict, so it's an open circle. 3/2 is not included. Okay, so this is solving it by pictures. That is drawing the sign chart of these. And then second is this inequality has to be gauged in terms of 0. So in this case, positive. If it were the case less than 0, then we would have been asking to extract the negative side of this side. So this is the graphic way doing solving the problems. Okay, and these methods of the graphing methods actually turns out to be the easier methods in terms of higher degree of inequality. So to solve this second degree inequality, the first things we have to do, these questions right now is asking some formula greater than equal to 4. And this is something we do in mathematics all the time. We set equal to 0. So in this case, and then we turn these problems into, instead of bigger than equal to 4, we turns this into a problem of this formula being positive. Bigger than 0 means positive. Okay. We could have moved everything to one side, and then the question will look like this: 0, 4 minus x squared plus 3x. Of course, it will make the algebra more complicated, but we could turn the problem into looking for the negative questions. When would this formula be less than 0? This would have been a negative questions. But if you draw the pictures, they come out the same answers. Okay. So first, we're going to draw the sign chart of this formula. So we factor it, and remember how we do sign chart. We find out when it's 0, that's equal to 4. Okay, so with x equal to 4, we get 0, and this x equal to minus 1, and we mark those numbers down on the line. And both have odd power 1. So we test a point, and we find out if I test 5, okay, put into these formulas, in particular this parentheses multiplying, I get 2 positives, multiplies, I get plus. And recall from the last section, since both only have power 1, in this case means the sign when it crosses will change. Okay, because it's an R power. And for minus 1 is the same thing. That means it will change back to plus sign. So here is the sign chart. And the questions now, for the original questions, we changed into these questions. So when is this positive? And where is it positive from here? It's positive in this region and in this region. Therefore, that's the answers, because these two questions are exactly the same questions. Okay, just a different form. So these are the answers in set union notations. We could do this with fractional formulas, provided everything can be factored. So again, we do this by drawing the sign chart for the fractions. And in particular, in these problems, it's eventually asking for less than 0. think of it as negative, and it's negative. Okay, so first we draw the signs. Okay, now remember the powers. It gives the order of the roots. So for the zero, x equal to 0, x equal to 1, and so these two answers, 0 and 1, okay, and are even. Okay, so x equal to 0, and the roots in the denominators, but these two are even orders. And 2 minus x gives the root 2. And that turns out to be odd order because that has a power of 1. Okay, so remember, we keep track of the roots in the power it came from, even or odd power. Okay, and so here's a picture. Okay, so don't worry about this for a while. Okay, let me dump it for 30 seconds. Okay, so here's a picture for even and odd roots, right? And now we need one sign, so we test a sign. The easiest one easy ones, that's 3 integers. Okay, and you put 3's into the factored formulas. You know, put 3 in here, 3 in here, 3 squared. 2 minus 3 is negative. Everything else is positive, so that's a negative sign. Now the sign chart propagate itself. It's R power, so it changed to plus. Even power, it doesn't change, and the even power doesn't change. So let me use even, negative, plus, plus, plus. Each change, no change, no change. So the solution is x more than 2. Okay. Now, how about this type of inequality? If the problem is not gauged in terms of 0, we have to move everything to one side. So have the problem is phrased in terms of zeros. Okay, so it's turn the problem into a problem about positive or negative of a formula. So we'll put everything to one side. Okay. Then what? I'm not allowed to multiply this inequality by any. I'm not allowed to clear the denominator. Okay, and they say, why not? I mean, just try. If I start with 1 over x is bigger than 1. Okay, and that of course is, so if you multiply the both side by common denominator, okay, and then you get 1 is bigger than x, and you find out this is just the answer is just not correct. Okay, like for instance, if I use a number x is minus 2, it's less than 1, but if I put minus 2 there, it doesn't work. So this is the wrong answer. So you may not clear the denominator, but so what you have to do, is we have to put them into a one fractions in a factor form. Okay, so this is the fraction algebra. Put them into common denominator. Now I draw the sign chart of this formula, and this formula has a root at 4. And from the bottom, 0 is 2 and 1. So got these 3 numbers, and all of them are odd order roots. Okay, so we draw, and the problem can be turned into when is this formula negative, less than or equal to 0, it means negative. Okay, so draw the sign chart. Okay, and mark the numbers, these points down on a line. And test 1 point. Okay, I test the 5, it's negative. And then remember, since everything's odd order, so it changed and changed and changed because all of them are odd orders. So at every point, it changes the sign swap. So here, therefore, the answers, remember, go back to the problem, which signs do we want? Well, you look at the problem, oh, it's less than or equal to 0, therefore I want the negative ones. So these portions. So this is very important because this is where we start by drawing a pictures. We do deductions on to get the answer instead of there's an algebraic way of doing this, but the algebraic way, the reasoning is a lot messier. Okay, so the cleanest, the easiest way to solve this problem is do the sign chart. Okay, and okay, that's it. Bye bye, and do the art problems on the homework. Bye bye.